Aman Joseph Akablez in court for us will bring you updates on the ruling. Now, there's heavy security in the northern region town of Bimbilla as the Supreme Court prepares to give a ruling on years of the protracted chieftaincy confrontation in that part of the country. Residents of the area will know later this morning whether the Nakbana or the Dasana family is qualified to rule Bimbilla. Despite the feuding factions' resolve to commit to peace after the ruling, there's heavy joint police and military team in the area. Martina Bugri has been speaking to some residents of Bimbilla this morning.
The conflict has actually affected economic activities for so long. So if the verdict comes, it's about peace, which we are all hoping for, to bring economic development, we'll see social development, we'll see transformation, unity and love among the people here in this particular part of the country. It has really been a challenge, especially having to sleep as early as 6 p.m. every day when people could have been doing businesses up to 10 or even 11 o'clock. So economically, it's going to bring a whole lot of change. And even for us religious leaders here, it's affecting our work, our mission and our ministry here, because sometimes we wish we could have programs for your people in the evening and all of that, but because of the way curfew situations are, we are not able to do that. And so this will really bring a lot of change to the people and to the entire region.
It will be good for us to do our business because of these issues. These issues makes most of our business partners that don't come to us. That's because they are afraid if they come to do business with us, something might happen to them. So I see this vetting to be very good, and I pray to God everything should move successfully.
What we are trying to do is the good for us. If only we abide by the law. And I think everything will be done well. For the people, in fact, it has served us very much. Because we are in the month of Ramadan as of now. Then we have to wake up around 3 to prepare up for the fast. Then before, from 5, there about 5:30 to 6, you have to go to the town for provisions in order to break the fast. But as of now, around 6 there about you have to run into your rooms. And that has much impact, negative impact on our fast and then the development of the town. Even sometimes those that they are businesses around 8, 7 there about nowadays it's not being moving again. That's due to the issue.
My colleague Seth Kwame Boateng produced the documentary Bullet or the Skin 2 years ago, which highlighted the effects of the conflict on the lives of the people. He's been engaging residents of Bimbilla ahead of the ruling.
15 years, the sounds of gunshots have rung through the homes of many living in Bimbilla in this fight between two families from the same gate. Scores of people have been killed and several children have become orphans as a result of the conflict. A struggle between the Nakwana family and the Dasana family from the same gate over who becomes the next king is the cause of the violence, as Reverend Father Michael Cobb of the Yendi Peace Center tells me.
It happened after the 1999, after the death of the sitting chief, Baraka. There was a need for a successor. And once it's the rotational gate matter, it went to the other gate, that is the Bomaile. But efforts to get a substantive chief has always been difficult, from one court to another court to another court.
The murder of Andani Dasana Abdullah in his palace on the 19th of June 2014 further deepened the conflict. The chief was assassinated shortly after evening Muslim prayers. The town is currently under a 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew, and it has been so for many years to avert further bloodshed and destruction of properties. This has affected everything from business through to education and health.
We want peace, no more war. We want peace.
The residents, especially the youth, say they are tired of this conflict and are demanding peace. So ahead of this make or break Supreme Court ruling, the youth from both sides have come together appealing to all to accept the verdict.
Bimbilla is our land. What is happening is not going into anybody's favor. The roots, the aged, the people are being grounded to a halt. Businesses have come to a halt over the counterproductive curfew that have been imposed on the people. Farmers are crying. The students, like you talked about, life here in Accra is not easy. We have been here struggling. The image the media has given to Bimbilla is affecting almost all of us. That is why we are passionately appealing to everybody. The time has come, like you rightly say, break or a makeup. We must look beyond the future. We must look at the future of the unknown.
My heart bleeds when I look at the rippling effects of this conflict over time. People might not see the effects now, even though some have already manifested, but looking into the future, there are more things that we have to ponder over. Let's take a quick example as to the businesses in Bimbilla. Most businesses have collapsed due to this conflict, and I'm preaching that my parents out there, my uncles, my grandparents, my fellow women especially, because we are most vulnerable when it comes to war. We can't fight, so let us be a catalyst to preaching peace and development.
I'm appealing to my grandparents, my parents, my colleague youth, women, everybody. Let us choose peace. Let us embrace peace. We are one family. You are either related through marriage or through any other family relations. Everybody knows everybody.
Member of Parliament for the area, Dominic Nitu, is anxious, but he believes all the sides will welcome the outcome and ensure that peace returns to Bimbilla.
If I say I'm not anxious, then I would not be telling the truth. I am. But like I said, I have positive reviews about the Supreme Court. I have a lot of confidence in what they do, a lot of confidence in the judges, and I believe that they'll give a ruling that will bring finality to the area, will bring peace to the people, and all of us will be happy the day after. So I appeal to the people, and I appeal to the supporters, I appeal to the contenders, I appeal to even well-wishers that whatever the Supreme Court finally sees, we should say glory to the Almighty.
It is no secret that Bimbilla needs peace. Peace to ensure development for the town, to bring back the smiles on the faces of children and adults here whose lives have been marred by the decades-old conflict. For Joy News, this is Seth Kwame Boatin.
Albert Young is the coordinator for the West African Network for Peace Building, WANEP. WANEP has been working and maintaining peace in Bimbilla. Albert Young joins us via Skype for a conversation on this, actually via phone. Good morning, sir. Thanks for your time.
Good morning, and good morning to your listeners.
Great. Now, are the people ready to accept any verdict?
Yes, I think so. They have been in court for some time now, and they have gone through this process. This is not the first time, except that this time around is at the 8th best court of the country. They have gone through a lot of orientation to decide in the manner that they can accept the verdict. Of course, these things come with anxieties and uncertainties, but we believe that the work that has gone in, and with the preparation of the security, the government, religious groups, civil society, and even local groups of in Bimbilla, who are composed from a neutral group that has been working with them, and also the influence of the leadership of the two factions. We believe that the people are prepared to accept the verdict. But of course, they are human beings. Human beings are. You cannot determine how they will react to situations. Realities sometimes are different, but our confidence is, in them is such high that we think that they should be able to accept the outcome of the best court of the country.
Mr. Young, do you think this ruling will bring finality to the 15-year-old conflict?
I think that it's difficult to answer. I think basically it will address the legal issues that the people sought in the court. Of course, there might be some still some things that people will not be so satisfied with. But I think that the ruling of the court will be for the interest of the area, that peace is paramount in to pave the way for development, to enable people coexist. So the focus, and I think and believe the spirit of the ruling will be for peace in the area, and that it should be in a way that people can will not find reason to react in a manner that will be untoward for the security of the area. However, there are still other things. I mean, while we are doing this, we are not asking the fundamental question of the structure that enables these things to happen. There are structural causes. For instance, the people over the period, I believe that negatively have been affected, and poverty would have been an issue to deal with. The relationship has not, of course, once we know it's an adversarial process. So once they go through the legal process, there also has to be a way of reconciling the parties. And also bear in mind that these are, I mean, it's a family. So no one is comfortable with some of those outcomes from the court. Our culture is such that we are not really comfortable with court verdicts. But I think that we need to work on the relationship of the people so that they can coexist and to accept the reality and be able to move forward. Of course, if you know, Northern Region has the highest percentage in terms of arms in the hands of the civilian population. So those ones are still there, and there are those things we need to address to get the youth engaged meaningfully and economically, so that they do not find any reason to be lured by any individual or group to engage in violent action.
Okay, are you able to tell us what steps need to be taken to rebuild Bimbilla?
I think that once the verdict is pronounced, we need to, and even before then, the various leaderships continue to speak to each other. We need to continue to orient each other, sensitize. And then there has to be that conscious effort of formalizing, for instance, the chieftaincy succession, so that people know this is the kind of reference they have to make in terms of who becomes chief or king in Bimbilla. You know, that is very important because if you know, there has been some disagreements over the process and who should become the next chief. Everyone has the truth. Both parties have the truth, and sometimes it's difficult to determine whose truth is the truth. So once this is documented and the people accept that this is what we want to go by going forward, that is key in sustaining or rebuilding Bimbilla. Of course, there also has to be the kind of improvements in agriculture in the area. It is the mainstay of the people. And indeed, Bimbilla used to be one single community that was contributing the highest quantity in terms of food for the country. So that glory needs to be revived through interventions such as in agric. And we need to engage the youth. What is it that they are engaging in? If they are idle, then obviously they will find reasons to engage in things that will not be and will not augur well for their own future, you know, and development. So we have to redirect that energy, you know, that is exuberant energy, to economic ventures, to focus on education and other things that will develop the area. Of course, there are infrastructure deficits in Bimbilla. If you look at the town, in view of the violence, even the road from Yendi to Bimbilla, it's not something that there is some work going on. But if all those things are, so it opens up the area and people begin to see that, yes, there is a lot to benefit from being stable, because rather than maybe focusing on negative things.
Finally, Mr. Young, how soon after the ruling should all these steps be taken, and whose responsibility should it be to ensure that these steps are taken to rebuild Bimbilla?
I think that the responsibility is for everyone. All stakeholders must get on board. We have the people themselves who must demonstrate that they are willing to promote development in the area. And that demonstration should come from the fact that there has not been violence, or they are able to go through this process. You know, then I mean, how soon is difficult because you know, it's a process. The people have to go through. It's a healing process. Is an orientation, and it has to take some time. The government also has to play its role, especially sustaining security in the area for some time to ensure that at least people or even criminals who might want to infiltrate the process, the situation, will not have the opportunity to do so. So that, I mean, everyone is on board. Development agencies need to begin to think that this area has potential that we can invest our resources in and be able to change situations in the area. So that come the next 10, 20 decades, you will see a different Bimbilla.
Thanks for your time, Mr. Young. He is the National Network Coordinator for WANEP. Martina Bugri is in Bimbilla and joins us on phone. Martina, what have you gathered from the people since you arrived there?
What I've gathered is that they are anxious, they are waiting for the outcome of the verdict. Anxious not because they think that something negative would happen, but they are anxious because moving forward, how they would build Bimbilla as a community, Bimbilla as a people, and bring the needed development. I've been speaking to the youth, and they think that they have had enough of the conflict. It has retarded development, especially education. They told me that last year, Nanumba North was ranked second to last in the country at the BEC level, something they are not proud of, considering previous successes they have chalked. They also talked of agriculture, how people can't go to farm, even though they believe here is the food basket. They are unable to utilize the opportunities available. And so these are some of the issues that, speaking to the residents, they think that today's verdict will bring finality to the conflict that has engulfed the area and ensure that they have a peaceful place to live and work.
Are schools open today, Martina?
I didn't get that, Bennett.
Are schools opened today?
Yes, schools are open. Businesses are actually ongoing, except that it's not full scale like it will normally be. And people have opened their shops partially, but business is going on.
And have you gotten any reasons why business is not as usual?
I'm speaking to them. People are saying that, well, we don't want a situation we need to run, and then you have to begin packing. But they believe that it won't get to that anyway.
Thank you very much, Martina Bugri, coming to us from Bimbilla. We're still there. We'll bring you updates from that community later. As stated earlier, my colleague Joseph Akable is in the Supreme Court, where we are preparing to hear what the ruling of this 15-year conflict would be.